What is up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another live stream. My name's Lewis, also known as MrCameraJunkie, where I remind you to upgrade your skills before your gear. And welcome to episode 59 of the Camera Junkie live stream. As always, thank you for spending your most precious commodity, which is your time here with me. And let's get to it. Let's see who's here in the chat. We have the Paul Duncan. How are you doing, sir? Okay. I'm running Ecamm Live Beta today. Hopefully I'm coming in clear. And yeah, I'm not hearing myself. And that is because I started today on the microphone that I started this live stream with, which is my Zoom H5 handy recorder. So just like I started this live stream, I started tonight's live stream with the original. So we're going to continue with that. Hopefully I'm coming in clear. And hopefully the music's not too loud. Because right now I can't monitor it. So it looks like my levels are fine. So we're going to just roll with it. You guys will let me know in the chat. Kevin Cox is in the house. How are you? Mario Crespi. Sir, can you believe that we're creeping up on episode 60 of this live stream? It's amazing that next week we'll be at 60 episodes of this live stream. Just remarkable. And Mr. Lazuka, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for stopping by. Everybody saying hello to each other here. See? Lewis is saying hello to everyone. It says, feels like forever since I've been here. I'm glad to be back. Well, we're very happy to have you back, sir. And we appreciate you as always. And it's super cool to have you more involved. Hopefully, we should be seeing you streaming soon. Well, we're still waiting on it. So, this is what Kevin said. Hey, Caleb, how are you? Saying, I'm good. Okay, I guess that's what we're talking about, the audio here. Well, there is some new audio equipment that I'm going to be receiving soon. So I'm going to have a new interface that I'm going to most likely be, it's going to take over everything for right now, which is the Zoom PodTrack P4. It's something that I had been thinking about in the, in the past, and I should be getting it probably within this next week. So I'm really excited about that. It's small, compact. It has 4 connections, allowing me to control everything. And when used as an interface, everything should be good. And it's a Zoom product, which is something that I guess that's all that needs to be said about that. Okay, why is this here? Okay, let's get that out of the way. All right, cool. All right, Sammy Superstars in the house. How are you doing, sir? Oh, I forgot my sound effects. Let's turn these on. I actually didn't forget it. What I forget to do with my sound effects is I forget to take the iPad off of auto lock. So I put it so that it won't ever auto lock, and then whenever I turn on my, sound effect buttons, then at that moment we don't have to, worry about. Okay, that's why I wasn't hearing it. I don't have to worry about the iPad shutting off on me, and when I go to actually use it, the buttons are off. But I keep it plugged in so that it doesn't lose charge, and that's how I use my 3rd generation iPad on the live stream, using old tech to keep things rolling. Lewis is saying it sounds wonderful. Good. All right. Neil is in the house. How are you doing, sir? Good evening. John as well, saying hello to everyone in the crew. Gretchen made it by. How are you? Says, I just finished my 59th live too. Whoa, you're catching up, right? Like, you're going to surpass me soon. Well, these are of this live stream, not of total live streams. Because come last December, I did 30 in a row. And I only count for or 3 of those being the weekends that I actually, the Saturday episodes that I actually did. So just counting the weeks of live streaming. So yeah, I'm at week 59 since I started this whole venture. So it's just, it's so much fun. Everyone who actually does live streaming, you actually, recognize that connection that you have with the audience, and just it is so much fun. At least I think so. That's why I'm hooked, and I don't see me stopping for the foreseeable future at all. This is like the highlight of my weekend. After after all the hustle and bustle of the week, everything that could go crazy, just relax, have a cup of coffee, and chill at Club Camera Junkie. Where you upgrade your skills. It says cold hugs from Canada. How cold is it up there right now? So we're sounding great. Sammy says the Zoom P4 is very nice. Dr. Elo has the P4. Yeah, and it was actually his unboxing that made me look at that device, and I had always had it like on the back of my mind. But for those of you who are part of the Just Create More community, that's part of Heather Ramirez and Tom Buck through Mighty Networks, I believe there's a link at the bottom, but you know what, I'm gonna put it in the chat right now just so that I don't mess that up, so that you guys, if you're interested in being part of that community, if you're a creator and you want to have like a community of creators, like-minded people that have your best interest at mind, and also just could make a lot of great connections, whether it's collaboration, so on and so forth. This is such a great community, and I'm going to put the link to it. So let's see. Bear with me, guys. Oh no, that's... I thought there was a link. I know there is. I'm gonna work on it. Let me see. I'm gonna leave it open, but I'm gonna get back to it because I know there's a... Okay, hold on. I think I found it. Nope. Okay, we'll work on that later. I received a message with a link, so I don't know where I put it, but I'll work on that in a bit. All right, let's go back to the chat. Carlos Tacos. Say, what's up, bro? I think you've been here before. It's been a long time, if I'm correct, but please let me know your name. Introduce yourself here to the community so that we could all get to know you a little bit better. I'm guessing the name is Carlos, but just making sure. All right. Says Lewis, you almost at 100. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Melanie is in the house. How are you? Saying hi to everyone. Here's Mr. Tom Buck himself. Hey Tom, I believe you're a moderator here. If you can, drop the link to the Just Create More community, because I was looking for my ambassador code and I couldn't find it through the website. So I'm trying to spread the word of such a great community and get things rolling. So Lewis says negative 24 degrees over there in Canada. Wow. There was like a Discord chat, or was it Discord? I think it was Instagram. Like a group chat through creators, and everybody was talking about like all the bad weather, and I just dropped the comment like, I'm in Miami. like, I'm still using air conditioning right now, you know, like, so. Melanie says she loves the mug. Well, the mug can be found at pressandsew.com, right there with the shirts. And you know what? I'm going to let you guys know, you know, for those of you who are here, there's going to be a sneak peek. I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram, but let me see if I can pull that up. I should be able to pull up Instagram. Let's get interested here. Okay, so now I'm in my Instagram, and what I'm gonna do, oh, this is kind of loud. I forgot to put that down. Okay. I'm gonna look at my stuff. Yep. Okay, how long ago was this? Oh, it was already 3 weeks ago. Okay, 3 weeks ago, I did this. Boom. And I put this on my Instagram, and it just kind of like a feeler to see exactly how things are going about this design, and it's becoming a reality. I wanted to have it ready for tonight, but there was an event this week called Expand Your Reach from Live Streaming Pros. I did have the privilege to take part of that event. It was amazing, but so time consuming. Through the calendar, it was scheduled till 6 p.m. and it ran to 8 p.m. every day. So the little time that I had left to schedule, you know, just like the other things, certain repairs, stuff like that, just really like that schedule got hammered up. I was exhausted yesterday, but that's the way that we roll. It was a really cool event. It was very interactive. There was certain things that were implemented through like the Zoom and through like reactions that were given that us as like the viewers of the seminar were given to actually be able to react in real time to the speakers, and they were able to see it. So it was really, really cool, especially the fact that, you know, I got to spend some extra time over there with the Ecamm fam, and yeah, so many like cool things. Tom, through the Expand Your Reach conference, I was able to meet and speak with Mr. Michael Delgadio, booth junkie, and it was like super cool to be able to, you know, share a couple thoughts and, you know, spend some time in that virtual conference with Mr. Delgadio. So it was like really cool, and I was like, you know, us junkies got to stick together. So it was just like so much fun. But going back to the shirt, the Junkie Crew shirt is going to be available on the website soon, so that will be available for anyone who wants it. But I'm also letting you guys know on the inside, if you've donated to my Buy Me a Coffee, I will have your email there, and through that I'm gonna be sending out a blast with a special code for the Camera Junkie crew to buy this at cost, where I don't make a cent. This is just a gift from me to you. So those of you who have already, you know, like donated through the Buy Me a Coffee, I will have your emails already and send you that information with that code so that you can get it at cost if you so desire to. So that's all going to be taken care of probably within this week. And talking about that, I do want to thank every single one of you, because I was really taken back and left pretty much speechless last week with your generosity, and I was able to replace the battery on my car, and now I have no issues turning it on. It just makes life that much easier. So I can't thank all of you enough. I was just really taken back with how generous you guys are. You guys are amazing, and it really does mean the world to me. The fact that you guys care about, you know, like me and me taking care of Aiden, which is the most important thing to me. It, like I said, means the world to me. So you guys are amazing, and I just want to thank you guys because it covered like exactly exactly the price of the battery. It's just how it is, right? Like, it's just amazing. I still stay amazed at what we've been able to accomplish in such a short time. And yeah, so let's just continue. But that's the plans. I wanted to have this ready for today and have the codes and everything, but I will be having these on the website available come next week. So already spoke with Sylvia and stuff like that. I believe I sent them the files, but with the expand your reach and everything this week, everything got, a lot of things fell through the cracks. And I sent them in a vector file, but apparently it wasn't like working with their program. So I'm still just trying to figure out like a couple of those little kinks out of the way, just so that my future designs that I want to put up there, I want to be able to send them the design and already know that it's in the correct format, so that don't have to like worry about prolonging the process, and when I'm able to create a design, to be able to have it up and ready like within the week. So those are the plans for the future with the merch over here at Press and Sew /MCJ MrCameraJunkie. All right, so let's go back to the main shot. Boom. Boom. Did we go there? No, that didn't go. Okay, I have to reprogram my Stream Deck, I guess, because it literally has everything on the Ecamm Live. And like I said before, right now I'm using the beta, so I guess all the buttons are still over there. For those of you who are here, I would appreciate it if you can actually just that like button. Just things that I have to remember to remind myself to even mention, because they just slipped my mind. All right, so let's continue. Melanie said that she loved the mug. I do too, and I'll tell you the truth, this is a pint mug, so it is actually 16 ounces. This thing's a beast. Like, this is like I'm putting it next to my face. This thing is massive. It's awesome. Oh, you see the coffee stains? Genuine. Luis says, I have the Zoom H4n and could use that for a live stream mic. How do you do it, Luis? Well, if you have it, you should be able to connect it the way that I have it connected right now, which is the easiest way. Let me see if I can go into live demo mode. Nothing is working because I am on the beta. Okay. What I actually did was I have this microphone connected via the USB. There you go. And the USB is going directly into my Mac Mini. And that is it. Now, I have a similar setup with the audio over here, which is how I usually have my microphones connected. But because this is an interface just the same way, that's the way that I have it set up. It's connected directly into the computer. And if I were to do something like this, where just turn off the music, I will still have this microphone running, because this is basically the essential. This is all that you really need. Now, through this, there is ways to add other things as well, because it does have ports. If I wanted to, I could put this headphone, which basically is monitoring all of this audio here, directly into it, so that I can monitor the audio that it's being picked up right now. But at this point, because I'm going to be switching some things around, I have some other microphones to test, this is the way that it's you know, connected. It doesn't even have batteries. It's running the power off of the USB, and the zoom could either be connected like that as a standalone microphone or as an interface, meaning the computer will now give me the ability to connect the entire thing in any peripheral. So it has on the bottom 2 XLR combo jack ports, so I could actually connect the sound effects that I have here to this, and then it will be running through there out to you. If I wanted to, I could connect this microphone over here to it, and then also it'll be running out to you. I can connect, you know, let's do it now. Give me a quick second. Testing, testing. Testing. Okay, that seems to be getting right on the levels. So now I am using a lavalier microphone, which is something that I really never use here. But it was one of the microphones that I purchased when I first started doing all of this to see if it was something that I was going to use. I mostly had it for my cameras as far as like vlogging, but I never really liked the sound. And then just put it away as like, that's not a microphone that I'm going to use. But that was before I even learned myself about editing the audio. So now I know that if I wanted to, I could literally put the preamps on my camera very, very low, have this microphone record the audio, and be able to fix it in post and get really good audio no matter where I go without having a big bulky setup of a shotgun microphone and things like that. This is a, what brand is it? Let me see if I get it right. Slint. This is my little lavalier pouch. I bought 2 Slint lavalier microphones for $20. So this is probably like the cheapest microphone that I've got in my entire arsenal. So let me know what you guys think of the lavalier microphone setup. Right now I have it connected to the same top piece here on the zoom, just so that I can show you. So the zoom top part, which was the microphone, now has a microphone in port, and that's where I have the lavalier connected to. So once again, this has just become the interface that the computer recognizes to connect all of the audio. So if I were to be using this lavalier microphone, I could have the actual unit that I was using before and the microphone that's built into it off to the side. And now I just, you know, am able to control all of the audio here the same way, kind of like you would have it on a mixing board. So it is such an awesome piece of equipment that even while I was doing the trip to Albany, New York in October, this was the piece of kit that I ended up taking with me to do the live streams on the road, because it was that, a USB cable to my laptop, and I was ready to rock and roll. So this is a piece of kit that I think is worth picking up if you have the ability to. I was fortunate enough to found this through my used you know, sales. I found it through OfferUp, which I've spoken so many times being one of my favorite used merchant applications, and they were selling it for $100, and I got it with the whole thing. I got it, you know, with the pop filter. I got it with the case, which is running around here. Yep, as you can see, the case, instruction manuals. It was brand new, and it still really doesn't even have a scratch on it, and it seems to be working okay. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments about the lavalier microphone, because this is literally the first time that I've ever worn a lavalier, and as a Puerto Rican, it might suit me because I flail my arms around a lot. So, so Gretchen saying hi to Tom. Says 40 more episodes to 100. Yo, don't think that I haven't been thinking about that number, because that is such a big milestone. Let me tell you, you know, especially like consecutively, you know, week in, week out, there's so many challenges, so many things that could arise. And that's like such a big goal for me. I grew up in a generation where if you had a television show that ran 100 episodes, that was like such an amazing accomplishment. And that's what I'm looking to do here, and that's why I'm so excited. I think this is so cool, and the fact that I get to enjoy this feat with all of you makes it even that much better. So Lewis says OMG, Tom's here. Says thanks, Gretchen. Saying hi to everyone. Okay, so Tom put this in, so anyone who's interested, just create more. Look, it's that easy. Just createmore.com. I guess I was looking for my ambassador code, which I guess is different, but whew, there we go. And we march on. It says, I'm in Tampa and the weather's so beautiful right now. That's so cool. We're not that far off, you know. That means that we're just about 4 hours away. There's an event. There's an event coming up in... Oh, but that, let me not confuse it. You're more than welcome, but it's Dan C. Bearded, about the bearded community. They're doing a meetup at the end of March, and what is it? Something Springs in Orlando, the Disney Springs, basically. So that same general area, and I'm really excited to get to meet Dan and a bunch of people from that community as well. He also has a great community. He does live streams Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays. Sundays is his best friend, the mayor, but it's still on his channel. So for any of you who are interested in looking into helping out your beard, look into Dancy Bearded. It's just an amazing community over there as well. I just went over there to check it out. Dan is a super cool guy, and then he also masters like live stream. Like he has 300 people in there, and he just has them all engaged, answering questions. His chat is like nuts, and he does such a good job. So I started watching it to pick up better things for my own live stream, and then it ended up like just now it's a Monday night thing where I'm in that community, and seeming that I am bearded, I fit right in. So Dr. Elo is in the house. Elo. How are you doing, bro? Wepa, how are you, man? And Marga is here. Look at this. The Latinos have come out to play. Paul says 3 very intense days. Yes, that was the Expand Your Reach conference. And Paul, you know what? Let's where is it? Here we go. Paul did an amazing job moderating that conference. There was a group of them, and they did a standout job when it came to the chat and just people in general, and then even going above and beyond, you know, even moderating the people that were part of the conference now in the Facebook group as well. It's like super cool. Dude is next level. Okay, so Caleb is saying hi to Dr. Elo, and he's saying hi. Todd is here saying hello. Christmas Clatter, good to have you back as well after you've done all your Santa duties for December. Those of you who don't know, you know, he's Santa Claus. So he's saying hi to everyone. Tom says, cool, I love Boot Junkie, right? And he's as cool as in person as you would expect from his videos. He's a really cool guy. Luis said he just requested to join the gang. It says, I'll turn your notifications on so I could be active with streams. This is my first of 2020. Let's go. Hey, let's go, sir. That's That didn't come on. That's Ecamm. Okay. It says, when Junkie stream, I watch a lot of Booth Junkie. I know he's great, man. And just, I've learned so much from him as well. So it's almost like, you kind of feel like indebted, right? Like, it's just like, hey, man, thank you for all that he's done. Another one, which is something, this is a new segment that I want to add. And I'm going to call it Cities Gall. Yes, that's the abbreviation, Cities Gall. Channels that I think you should go and watch. And that's what it's there, Cities Gall. And the channel that I think you should go and watch is Raphael Ludwig. If you are a creator, Raphael Ludwig is a industry pro, editor. He's worked on so many projects. Toy Story, Big Hero 5. He's got stories galore from being in the biz, and now he has a YouTube channel. So Raphael Ludwig, an amazing creator. He just dropped a video about a plugin for Final Cut Pro. But he has so many great tips, and if you're looking to make this a business, I also highly recommend you check him out, because he does like freelancer, like finance fundamentals. So that actually sounds pretty cool. If he hasn't coined that, maybe he can use it, 3 F's. So freelance, finance, something. I said it, but it's recorded, so he can use it if he likes it. So I couldn't even repeat it. Okay, so I'm guessing, yep, that we got some people here. Chantel is in the house. I gotta give it up to Chantel. How are you? She is logging in from Australia, so she's hanging out. I really appreciate you stopping by. Says, did it go away? I saw it. Paul, I saw it here, but I always see it. I just don't know because I'm not checking YouTube as well. But like I said, I appreciate you. I know you guys got this on lock. I got an unhidden message, so I wanted to make sure. Oh, well, like I said, I appreciate you, but we got this on lock. You got master moderators in the house. He comes here and helps out as well. He is just the bomb. And then on top of that, like, I'm not gonna put that on the screen as well. Says, could you set up another profile one for beta? I'm not sure what you're talking about for Ecamm. If you're talking about like the profiles for the beta Ecamm, you can, and I don't have the only thing is that I'm mostly on the regular, so I'm just made a concerted decision to start working more with the beta version. And when I opened it up today, my Stream Deck is just, all the buttons are still configured to the other one. So like when I hit a button, it's not doing whatever it's supposed to do because it's trying to send the signal over to the regular Ecamm, not the beta. So, but I'll have it fixed for next week. We're good. We'll roll with the punches. Randall says he uses his mug every day. That means so much to me. I use it every day too. I absolutely love it. I'll tell you the truth. There's different mug design, and I just like, the biggest thing that it for me was that it was big and that it had a nice handle. And I absolutely love this handle. There's certain mugs that, the handles aren't good, so that they end up like crushing your fingers because they're putting the weight on the wrong part. And while you're trying to enjoy your drink, you actually end up like hurting yourself. So I was like, big no-no. I'm meticulous when it comes to things like that. So including the merchandise that I waited to, collaborate with Press and Sew, because I believe in their quality of product instead of just trying to, get anything out there. My brother was a silk screening and printing person. Oh, I'm still using the lavalier. Look at that. I totally just went off on this whole thing, and I forgot to test the microphones. But my brother being part of it, I was always, you know, like I always was very close to silk screening, printing, and this type of, you know, work. So I know the quality firsthand of what I'm getting from Press and Sew, and that's why I'm really happy to be working with them. And I can't wait for bigger and bigger things in the future with them as well. So really excited. Okay. Says thank you for the behind the scenes. Just the line out. Oh, Command Shift D for live demo mode. I usually have a button. So. Okay, I'll do it next time. If you like the H5, you plug in the USB and choose audio interface when you power on. Yeah. So that would probably be the same thing that you do with the H4n for Lewis. Yep. It's super easy and it sounds really good. You're saying that the autofocus on the A6100 is remarkable? Yes. And yes, that's why I use Sony. Okay, so Paul says a little hot. So I guess we're talking about the lavalier. Well, if that is true, sorry about that, but I am going to be switching it soon because I am going to be disconnecting this interface, and I'm going to be connecting something that is very similar, which is something that I really haven't been using. All of this is like live testing as well. Like Doc always says, learn out loud, is because I haven't been using this type of equipment for the reason that I think now is that I was having issues with my older computer. Now that I have a much better computer, all of these things are working a lot better, you know, for me. And so that's where we're at. Okay. Says, I think I agree. I like the sound of the H4n better than the lavalier, most likely. But that all has to do with that having two capsules. Well, let's get to it real quick. Well, that would be the difference of having two capsules versus one very, very, very small capsule. So, as you can see on the lavalier microphone, that capsule is minuscule. I think a pencil eraser is probably louder. I mean, bigger, not louder. It is. That's thinner than a pencil eraser, and just the size of the capsule that's capturing the audio is probably why it made it sound so loud. But it's still a pretty good, you know, use case scenario that at the end of the day sounds a lot better than any on camera microphone. Something that you can use for a live stream like this. Okay, so with that being said, I am going to go to the next microphone. All right. And this is the cheapest microphone that I have. This is a USB Maono PM461. And we're about to hear what that sounds like. Testing, testing. Okay, I think I'm coming through now. Okay. That was strange. Okay. There's no more music coming through right now. That's what's going on. Oh, no, there is. Isn't there? Let me see. Okay. Okay, so now let's see how this sounds. I don't know if I'm coming in hot right now. But to speak a little bit about these microphones, even though I was using the Zoom H5, it is more of a condenser type microphone, even though it's a stereo microphone. Stereo being that it has 2 capsules so that it can capture directional sound just the same way. That's a feature part of this setup here. Let me move it off to the side. That's the Zoom. Now this Maono, this is a condenser microphone, meaning it needs to be powered. Powered condenser microphones tend to be a lot more sensitive when it comes to the sound. It picks up all the sounds from everything. Most likely Aiden's sound, or the noise that he's making here playing, are gonna be heightened and coming through a lot clearer with the condenser type microphones. So everything that we've been hearing so far, including the lavalier, has a powered type of connection. So I have to be a father first, always. And it looks like Aiden is trying to be a little mischievous right now. Come on, buddy. Come to this side. All right. Now, this microphone, I think, sounds a lot better on my hardware now than it did before. That's why I wanted to make this comparison as well. You guys could also let me know what this sounds like, but I actually think that this is a pretty good microphone for $25. So if this was something that you were looking to get starting and doing, this could be something that interests you. One thing that I did not like about this microphone was its not pop filter, it's what is this thing called? I forgot it right now. Words are hard today. Let's see. The word came to me, the shock mount. The shock mount on this microphone was really nothing to say anything about. This was the center part of it. See? And this was what was holding the microphone. The problem with this thing is that this microphone has a gain knob right on the front. So if I wanted to add or take away from the level of sensitivity that the microphone is being that it's sending out, I couldn't really adjust it. Plus it was so stiff with all this extra plastic that it was still picking up any sound that was coming through whenever you would touch the boom arm or the scissor arm that you had the microphone on. So what I did was remove this centerpiece and just left the elastic bands on it, and I'm just gonna raise it up a little bit. And I was able, what I did was I just used the bands themselves to wrap the microphone's base to hold it up. So now it hovers on top. It's not being restricted. It's actually making noise reduction because it's literally hovering on the elastic bands, and it gives me access to the gain knob. That changes the game with this little microphone. So a good mount for the microphone makes all the difference, because the one that I had was absolute garbage. This is something that I think, being so small and light, is a viable option. And I believe you can find them right now on Amazon for like $25, $25 or $30. It comes with a little table stand, so on and so forth. At first, when I first tested it, I was like, I don't think that I would ever use this microphone. With my new computer, I stand corrected. I don't think this is the worst sounding microphone out there. And if you are using something like Audio Hijack that gives you the ability to equalize whatever microphone you're coming in through and then send it back out through loopback, which is how I have this set up now, it gives you a lot of options, because you can put denoise, declicks, and a lot of, you know, like equalization, including compression, all through here. Now, the reason why I mentioned that before is because the microphone that I'm using now is a dynamic microphone, and this is going to be the last one that I put on at the night, because this is the one that I'm actually using as my daily driver. The dynamic microphones do not need to be powered. So phantom power, or, you know, like the light microphone power like the lavalier needs. I forgot the name of that power. It's a little different. Not the phantom, but still. What actually ends up happening is that it picks up a lot less sound because it doesn't need to be powered. Meaning, for my location here, something that's untreated, a room that's untreated, and for sounds that like Aiden makes, these are not ideal for my particular condition. But at the end of the day, I would have to admit that there's something about the condenser sound that it has its own like little mark. And I do like the sound of condenser microphones, same way as dynamic. They all have, you know, their own little areas, and that's why we're having fun testing out different microphones tonight. I want to see how it sounds going out, and tonight I'm gonna have a good like test subject, right, to see what sounds like what, comparing all of the microphones that I have to what I have. Now, before I go to my Samsung, I'm going to pull out this guy here. All right. Boom. And this is my Sony. This is also a condenser microphone. And even though it's more like a boom or shotgun microphone that you would use on top of a camera or overhead, I'm going to tone it down and use it as a vocal microphone, something that Mr. Delgadio does with his Sennheiser, I believe. The 416. One of his favorite voice acting microphones. Okay, so now let me bring this down. Okay, so we are hot over here. What am I gonna do? I gotta switch microphones. So let's do that. Testing. Okay, definitely coming through there. Okay. Now this is a condenser microphone. Like I said, it's a shotgun microphone. This was something that I was using for a long time when I actually thought that I broke my Zoom, because what I did, which was very funny, and I'm going to show you now, was I was demonstrating how easy it is to take this capsule off of this microphone. as soon as you take the capsule off, look at those 2 red dots. They go dark. And when I clipped it back on and tried to use it again, I did not click on those buttons. And I spent more than a half an hour on a live stream trying to figure out the microphone until at the end of the day, I ended up changing to this microphone. And then everyone was saying, it sounds great. And I stuck with it. But once again, this is also a condenser microphone. As you can see, it picks up everything as far as Aiden goes, but if I keep it low enough, and what we do as far as microphone techniques is called eating the microphone, you get really close up to it, very intimate, and then you get a really, really good sound. I know it sounds good because I actually can hear it comparative to all the other microphones that we've been using tonight. Now, right now, let me make sure. Yeah, this is slight equalization through my DBX 286S. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn off all of the equalization. And this is what it would sound like with no compression and no added EQ. So this is what the microphone sounds like straight out of the box. But because I do have the equalization, we're going to use it. And that tends to level things out and make things just a little bit smoother. But the reason why I did that is because I could be wrong. If it sounds better with no equalization, it's something that I might be trying in the future. Less could be more, right? All right. Lewis says that's resourceful. Let's get back to the chat. And right now we're using my Sony. I forget the name of this. It's EXM XLR something. Kevin says lots of room noise in the lav mic compared to the others. I could imagine. Says the Saint sounds clear, so that means Aiden was coming in clear. It says, is the connector a TRRS? On the Zoom, it's not. It's a standard TRS. The lavalier microphone that I was using was a TRRS, and that was remedied by this simple little connector that converts the TRRS here. Let's not look at my face, okay? TRRS cable, that means it has 3 rings plugged in here, converts it to TRS that only has 2 rings, and then it connects to the Zoom and works. So the Zoom connection actually is TRS, old school microphone, or standard headphone jack. But the lavalier microphones that I got were designed for smartphones, so that's why they are TRRS. So that you'd be able to connect it directly to Android, iPhone, anything with that, you know, like hybrid jack, including like laptops, and be able to use that microphone right away. It says, dang, I need to pull my H4n out of the drawer. Yeah, and it's actually been really impressive as an interface. The cool thing about this as well, right, which doesn't really get talked about, right, which is you set up the microphone and you can use it as a microphone. You can plug in microphones to have them being used. You can have that lavalier or anything like that. So if I wanted my music, I can have a music source being plugged in right through here, like through the headphone jack, and then control the audio being delivered through the same way, and this being the mixer at that point. Throughout everything that you can do here, right, it's going to be pushed out to the computer and out to the live stream or wherever it is that you're going to be using the audio through this one cable. And at the same time, let's say you were doing a podcast or something like that you were recording, you can still press record, kind of like the Rodecaster Pro, and record all of your audio directly to the SD card on the spot. So that's also another feature that's like really cool. That's why I'm excited about the PodTrack P4, because it's a better form factor of the same thing that I'm liking from this unit here. The one thing that one doesn't have is the actual built-in microphone, but if I ever needed that, I still have this H5. So I've been using my H5 for the last 6 years, on and off. It's a tank. Yeah, it comes in clutch in so many situations, and that's why I haven't gotten rid of it at all. Like, I've upgraded microphones, I've changed things up, and at the end of the day, this one sticks around because I'm like, it's too useful. It's like a Swiss Army knife, right? You can just do so many things with it, and even at the end of the day, just get good sounds. My Joshio sound design challenge, all of the sound effects that I created for it, I used this little piece of kit. And like I said, I bought it when it was being sold for like $300 new, for $100 through OfferUp. And I was like, $100 for an audio microphone when I really didn't have one. I was like, this is gonna be my best microphone, I'll invest it. So I picked it up, and I haven't regretted it. Chantel says, I talk with my hands too. I went with the Rode Video NTG, just out of shot above head to clear my arm waving space. You feel the pain, right? The struggle's real. All right. Let me disconnect this guy here, because we don't need the Maono anymore. Okay. I like this song. Melody used to go, oh, Disney Springs. Yes, that's where we're gonna be. We're gonna be hanging out. That's the bearded community. But there's a lot of women as well who partake in that event. You know, a lot of wives of men who have beards who are going to be there as well. I really don't know how many people are gonna show up, but I'm most likely gonna be there. Gretchen is saying, Expand Your Reach was amazing. Yes, it was amazing, but also exhausting. Says, Raphael has such a great channel. Loved that plugin video, right? It was like so good. I still have the web page opened up. The M Labs, I believe. Or actually, I think I'm waiting on their email, because I was like, you know, I definitely didn't know about that stuff. But I'm also just starting to get back into editing as well. I'm really blown away with all the things that you can do with plugins, and how like that's become the tool of the trade. But that also is pretty convenient, because a lot of these programs is like just plug and play. Just throw this thing on there, and now you have the ability to make amazing transitions, and that's really all it takes. That's usually like the biggest difference between, you know, like a entry level to the high end. Says both of his channels are great. I have an issue personally, and I don't know why, you know, and I've tried to reach out but don't get too much information on it. I can't get notifications for his live streaming channel for whatever reason. It's almost like, for me, it's like logged in as like a children's channel, that it's not giving me permission for notifications, and it's just something that's weird. I've mentioned it to him as well, but regardless, I just try to catch as many, you know, like while I'm live, you know, to try to just be there and just try to catch his live streams. Hassan is in the house, also from Australia. How are you doing, sir? Lewis is saying, hope you have a wonderful stream. I work on my H4n audio for next Zoom call. Lewis, thank you. Have a good night, sir. Says, sorry, set up your Stream Deck for extra profile so you can switch between Stream Decks for beta and for standard. Okay. Well, I do have I do have for different things. I just haven't done one for each of the Ecamm because I have it for like Final Cut Pro. I have its own profile, so I know what you're talking about. Says, I think create another profile. That's exactly what she said. Oh man, I'm late. How far behind am I? I'm pulling a D on these comments. Aiden. Oh. Says Raphael's amazing. I watched some color grading videos, C-Log. Just getting familiar with that. Yeah, he's great, man. He's great. I love his stuff. Chantel's agreeing with Kevin. Healthy Bearded is in the house. What's up, brother? You see, that's what I was telling you. Look, such an amazing community. How are you doing, sir? I was just talking about the Disney Springs meetup and how I'm excited to see how many of the bearded community we're gonna like meet up there. It's too close for me not to stop by. Says Zoom H5 and the lab have different polar patterns. H5 top mics are condensers and the lab are omnidirectional. The mic sounds great for the mic in that price range. Okay, so we're talking about the Maono. Oh, I'm so backed up. Says this one is hot, bad, just more echo, hollow out, but notice because focusing in on it. Okay. Says it's handy. The Zoom H5 XLR connections can give phantom power if you need it too. Super cool little piece of kit. Absolutely, and I've used it. Says that Sony looks awesome. Which Sony is that? We're talking about the microphone. Let me get the name on it. Oh, you know what? I put it over here on my kit.co. This isn't my stuff, is it? No. This is my stuff, okay. Oh my god, I'm slacking. I can't believe I didn't put that there. Oh, this sucks for me. Okay, last resort. I'm literally checking my videos right now, my content. Let me go to an older video, something like this guy right here. Oh my god, what a fail. What a fail. My apologies. I will get that Sony information to you guys. It is the standard Sony XLR and I can't find it in any of my information on my old videos, the Amazon links, nothing, just to even get the code name off of it. It's not on my kit.co. I swore I had put that in the microphones on the kit.co. Oh, I see why I didn't, because it's part of the XLR K3M, you know, like adapter piece. So that's the way that I have it set up. I didn't put in the microphone by itself, but it sounds good. You know, and it's just another viable source. Oh man. Says yes, I meant the lav. Have a toss to the XLR converter, or to the TRRS converter, as she was trying to say. Scott is in the house as well, saying hello to everyone. Charles right behind him. How are you, sir? Or how are you guys? Gretchen's heading out. Says the vids in the house are running out of energy. Take care. Yep, we're about that hour point, so let me go ahead and get to my next microphone. I was trying to do all of this within the hour, but you know, I'm Puerto Rican as well. It says no problem, there aren't too many Sony shotguns out there. Sounds fantastic. I'll be able to send you the information. It's just, you know, I am failing at finding it on the fly. Hey, but that's how we do, right? You learn out loud. The funny thing is that I have it on this shock mount, and where it's being held is where the name of the microphone is actually at. So I would have to disassemble it. Actually, you know what? I'll be able to get it for you in just a second as soon as I switch microphones, which is what I'm gonna do now, right? We're switching mics. I'll be able to get this one, this information for you. Okay, so now let me go. Testing. Okay. Now we're listening to the Samsung MTR 101 studio condenser microphone. Now I just put in the chat the ECM XM1, which is the shotgun microphone from the Sony. But this microphone is one of my favorites because of the way it looks. Now, the other ones probably could sound better, and we're gonna put that to the test. Let me see if my levels are coming in through okay. Okay, so that sounds good. But with that being said, so you know what, let me see where we're at here. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna remove that there. Perfect. Okay, so right now this is my Samsung MTR 101 studio condenser microphone. Absolutely love the way that this microphone looks now, but because, excuse me, it's a condenser microphone just the same way, like we say, or like Mike Delgadio says, you can hear a mouse fart from the house next door. So it picks up all the sounds no matter how minimal, but that's what allows you to then get like really close and intimate and get that proximity effect from this microphone just the same way, which I also think sounds good, just like the Sony. Now I've learned more about microphones, audio, and sounds because of channels like Booth Junkie and quite a few that I listen to, Tom Buck being one of them. But you know, Curtis Judd, I've learned a lot from him when it comes to audio. I've learned a lot from Bandrew. I've learned a lot from quite a few audio creators. You know, Sound Speeds, gotta give them a shout out as well. And these are people that I've been able to educate myself on the audio as well, on top of appropriate microphone techniques, so on and so forth. But the differences between these microphones, between the audio interfaces, and what is possible with audio. Now, the biggest thing that I've invested on when it comes to audio, and it's something that just came in, and I still don't know how I'm going to implement it, but I'm going to show you what I got. Moving blankets. Now, they're pretty thick. I got them from Amazon. I think I paid like $50 for 4 of them. And I'm gonna see how I'm going to put these out. I know that they're great for deadening sound, so I'm thinking as close as possible. I mean, as close in proximity, but just out of sight, which is what we talk about, the visuals cone of cleanliness, right? Everything that the camera is seeing in a cone shape expanding outwards is what you have to like prioritize as far as keeping nice and neat and clean. You don't want to see what my desk looks like over here with all the microphone pieces and things that I had to test out. This is like pure chaos, but because it's out of the shot, you don't see it, including like this moving blanket that I just brought here, and it's sitting just out of shot, and I have it ruffled in a way so that it can probably just try to capture as much of the reverb as possible. So I have 4 of them. I'm going to try to deploy them as best as possible to see how I can do it to actually get the best sound here in this small space. I'm thinking that for future live streams, I might just throw one down on the floor, kind of like a carpet, or just underneath me, to try to just eliminate as much reverb as possible. But that is the next step for my audio production, and it's one foot in front of the other. We're just getting better, a little bit better every day. Says Latina Stream Queen, says yay, Tom Buck got me hooked. Tom Buck got a lot of us hooked. I'm looking into getting the Rodecaster Pro. That is one of my future investments, definitely. But right now is because of Tom that I'm actually getting that pod track, and I'm really excited about it because I think it's just gonna fit like perfectly to replace this not so great audio mixer that I'm dealing with right now. So the one thing is that I noticed that the hissing sound that I was getting from this mixer is 100% through the analog channels, which really sucks. So the feedback that I'm hearing right now, even though I'm hearing the microphone, the music, I'm hearing a very, very prominent hiss, like real bad, like, but because it's just me monitoring, I have no problem. I am 100% confident that you guys aren't hearing that hiss coming out. So that's what matters to me, and that's ever since I was able to connect this setup and even this cheap Geely 17, whatever it's called, audio mixer directly via USB to the new computer. Like, these Mac M1 minis are phenomenal, that they're leaving me completely just amazed at all the capabilities that they have. They've totally enhanced all of these products because I was connecting it to a computer that's actually capable of handling what I was requiring it to do. I think the biggest problem was what was necessary for like these things to just work smoothly with the live stream being audio hijack and loopback was the big issues that I was having with my old i5 Mac Minis. It says I like the Sennheiser MKH418 S stereo condenser shotgun microphone. I use it mostly for cinematography and remote live streaming. That is the same exact microphone that Sir Michael Delgadio uses for his voiceover, the 418, the Sennheiser MKH. About $1,000 for that microphone, just so that everyone's aware. It's not cheap, but if you have the use case for it, it's a microphone that's gonna last you your entire life. So it'll be $1,000 till the day you die. Says you could also buy moving blankets from U-Haul. Are they that much better, or are they kind of like the same? Says I bought some $10 garment racks from Target and hang the moving blankets. That's a great idea. But the other thing is that I'm also looking to invest in a couple of other pieces of gear. Like one of them, which is something that I've been wanting to get for a long time, is like an official C-stand. You know, like a really good one, not dealing with like cheapy choppy stuff. So that's one of the things that I want to get my hands on, see what I can, and if I get one or two, that will totally just fix the situation, because I'll be able to throw one here, maybe the other one there on the other side of the desk, and just kind of create a V shape on it. Not too sure. I think this might be the compromise, because I still have the second shot, and see I have the microphone in the way. So if I put a moving blanket here, then that's all you're gonna see. You're literally gonna see the moving blanket, which I don't know, we'll figure it out. We're gonna run with it. So says they also have some inexpensive moving blankets from Harbor Freight. Okay, that's cool. No, but they actually had some cheaper ones on Amazon as well. I think they had like a $30 for like 4, or $35 for 4-pack. I got ones that were a little bit better and that, you know, were a little bit thicker, just so that I could deaden the sound better. Says, are you using a speaker to hear your sound level? No, I'm using one monitor. So it is the same thing, but that's, you know, the tricks of the trade, right? The magic. No, that I actually only put it in my left ear because it's the ear that you don't see on camera. So I have the other one here, just don't connect it so that it's not there. And second, this is my Aiden ear, so I don't like covering both of them, so that I can kind of be like completely away from what's going on here. Any loud sound or anything has my attention, and I run to be a father. Oh, excuse me. It says 416. I think it's 418, not 416. If it's the MK, the Sennheiser. Okay, so now we're gonna compare the sound that you're hearing here, and I'm going to connect my daily driver, which is my Rode pod mic, and that is a dynamic microphone. I'm gonna have to do a couple of level changes because all of these were so sensitive that this is kind of like the reverse. It's very quiet, so I'm gonna have to boost it up just a little bit more to get the sounds right. Testing. Testing. Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2. Okay. Still need to gain stage a little bit more. And there we have it. Now this is the Rode Pod mic. This is a dynamic microphone. Just like the same, you will get very close and intimate with this microphone because it is so quiet. That's gonna create that proximity effect that makes your voice sound so good in audio. It's just the tricks of the trade. And this being a quiet microphone, says needs a bit more gain. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna give it some more volume as well. So my levels should be good now, just the same way. Thanks again, Kevin, for being awesome. And yeah, and as you can see, I needed to change a lot more of the settings because of this fact, of the fact that it's such a quiet microphone. But at that same time is what allows it to not pick up the sounds that Aiden is making right now. Like, just like you would have heard before, now they're gonna be a lot less. And you know, my big meat suit in between Aiden's sounds and the microphone's capsule itself is also gonna help with the deadening of the sound. But this is a rugged piece of tech. It is one of the easiest microphones that I've ever used to like equalize and get a really good sound, and that's why for live streaming I also recommend this $100 microphone. It is really good. I have to once again thank Sammy Superstar for gifting me this microphone when I met him at People of Video, and that was the first time that I used it on a live stream that same night, connected to this Zoom H5 that I brought for the trip, and I've been using it ever since. So thanks once again, Sammy. It really does mean a lot to me, and I absolutely love this microphone, even though I know that I'm gonna be getting some other ones in the future, because this is a part of creation that I have fun with as well. And I want to thank every one of you who hung out with me to do this live, because this is a big part of the fun that I have with the gear, right? And that's just speaking clearly. You know, I say upgrade your skills before your gear, but having the gear to upgrade is also fun as well. You know, to be able to get that little piece of kit that makes your, you know, your set a little bit better, but also could give you that motivation, you know, that little kick in the pants that you might need to, or basically just that little bit of excitement that you just want to be able to show your enthusiasm in your content, you know. So it's always fun. It's kind of like anything that you get in life. It's, you know, the story of show and tell, right? And that's what we do here in a nutshell. And with that being said, I have to thank you, because I got to show you a little bit of what, you know, you can do and what you can test out yourself with Ecamm, which is my preferred program to use for all of these things. You could actually record yourself and don't have to go live. So if you record yourself, you're able to run all of these tests systematically and then play back the video to see what it would sound like or what it would look like if you were to have gone live. If that's still not enough for you, you have the ability to go live on a private or an unlisted live stream, which gives you that ability as well to test out your systems and put it out to YouTube to see exactly how they would render it. When it's unlisted or private, nobody else is going to see it, giving you the ability to check your work and to see if it's something that you like to do, which is something that I do all the time. I think that's why I'm a photographer, because I love taking two shots right next to each other of the same exact subject with different settings just to test out results. And that's that, right? So this all falls into that same category. of just like messing around and educating yourself through experience, because experience is always, always the best educator. Well, with that, once again, thank you for hanging out. Okay, we had some people just, I guess we're all saying bye. It says the sound is awesome. Your voice is very clear. Thank you. It says, just checked that there's a 418 and a 416, but the 418 was listed for $600 more than the 416. Yikes. Well, yes, but I think that there's also a difference in the actual hardware and the sound that you get out of it. The 418 is like a staple when it comes to microphones, but like I said, it is $1,000. To tell you the truth, it's usually not necessary. It just depends. Not like Mr. Delgadio, he is a professional voiceover actor, so the files that he's sending in are much higher quality than the files that are being rebroadcasted through people's iPhones while they're watching our videos on YouTube. So that's where I would tell you, a much cheaper microphone, even of the same type, or going with a pencil condenser, which is more designed for that type of effect of proximity, kind of like a shotgun microphone would give you, but designed for an untreated room, something like what I have here. So those are all things that are available, and could save you a lot of money, because the pencil condenser is a lot cheaper than that 418. Paul is clapping his hands. Marga's saying great stream. Thank you very much. It says thanks for the mic's demos, says John. Have a great week. Catch you on number 60. Absolutely. It says 10K of gear ain't going to do jack if you don't know how to use it. Absolutely right. You got it. And that's why we say upgrade your skills before your gear. But once you have the skills and you know the differences between the microphones, is really going to allow you to get the best gear for you and for what it is that you're trying to do. It's kind of like golf, right? Golfers, even though they're hitting one ball, they have like 12 different clubs, because there's a different angle of attack for every situation. I'm gonna have to clip that one out because that sounded good. So gonna have to put that on a shirt or something, It says great stream. Thank you all guys for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Charles is giving some football scores. That's a spoiler for anyone who pays attention to the NFL. I haven't paid attention to pretty much any sport, not knocking on any of them, but haven't really paid attention to any sport since Aiden was born. That's my life. It says the Sennheiser 418S is $1,700. So I guess that's the difference between the 418 and the 418S. I don't really know. Maybe the S is super cardioid. Even tighter when it comes to the polar pattern, but regardless, I will check that out. It's not in my budget anytime soon because I don't have the need for it. And if I did, I'm speaking honestly, if I have a commercial shoot to do, right, I'm probably going to be looking at a rental house to rent the gear that I need or that I'm missing. If I need a 8K camera for the shoot, then I know I don't own one, but I can rent it, including like a microphone like that. It says you need the skills and the proper equipment for the occasion. Yes, sir. But when you maximize your skills, which is what I have to leave it with that. When you maximize your skills, you can do a lot with minimal equipment. And with that, I will leave it. Guys, thank you as always for hanging out, spending your Saturday night here with me, hanging out at Club Camera Junkie. It is super appreciated. I can't wait to do it all over again next week. You know where you'll be able to find me here, 11 p.m. Standard Eastern Time, every Saturday. Next week we do 60 episode number 60, and I'm really excited. I would love to know what you guys would like to talk about. So if you haven't done it now, and or maybe you're catching the replay, if there's something that you're interested in that you might need help with, hey, don't hesitate to let me know. I know Scott had messaged me about the Stream Deck keys, and that's something that I started looking into this week, but because of the Expand Your Reach conference, like I said, there's another thing that slipped through the cracks, because that was the video that I had planned to make for this week, and I dropped the ball, right? So holding myself accountable, I did not make the video that I wanted to make, which is the next one that I have lined up. I tried to do some research on it, but I wasn't able to get the information that I needed to complete the project. So with that being said, and a couple of other issues, for those of you who don't know, I started editing videos for Ecamm. I'm really excited about that, but one of the projects that they asked me to do also started taking a little bit more time because it started freezing my computer. Problem is fixed now, but it was the first time that I'm downloading footage from Facebook to re-edit and repurpose, and boy, those files suck. So with that being said, that's fixed now, just starting to get things rolling. The Expand Your Reach conference just finished, but I believe there's a Ecamm challenge that starts on Monday as well, so nothing is slowing down, but that's all indications of good things. So I'm excited, but I mentioned it to you all to hold myself accountable. And with that being said, my next video on the Stream Deck actions for Photoshop should be out as soon as possible. So with that being said, as I am Puerto Rican for the 5th time, goodbye.